So, I welcome you to the lecture 33, that is quality of organic food. We have discussed the earlier classes regarding the production practices of organics, how can make the organic inputs and field level productions, including nutrient management, land management, plant protection measures for the organic farming standards. Last class we discussed about the transition to organic, that means the farmers how they can convert from the conventional farming to organic farming, what are the steps involved and how you can smoothly convert your land from conventional to organic production. So, the main objectives of having organic farming or to convert the land to organic farming is to have a better quality of the foods to with the increased productions. At the same time, we see there is less effect of these organic managements on the environments, that means it ensures environmental sustainability, food quality and the better food production. So, as our aim or this a goal of organic farming to have a good quality of food in addition to other benefits like the environmental sustainability or the better productions. So, how we can compare the organic food with conventional food and what do you mean by the food quality, how the organic food has superiority over the conventional food, those things we will discuss in this lecture. If you see the by Worthington 1980, what he has quoted, since the 1920s, when chemical fertilizer were first used commercially on a large scale, there have been claims that agricultural chemical produce less healthful and less nutritious food crops. Later in 1940, the organic farming movement had begun, in part due to this belief that food grown using more traditional chemical free methods was more healthful. The foods grown by these methods came to be known as organic. So, as we have discussed the earlier classes, how you can brand as organic, because foods are grown organic way, that means without use of any synthetic chemical or synthetic or chemical fertilizers or the pesticides. And those foods are branded as organic foods starting from 1920, when there is a need then chemical fertilizer, because there is realized also, because there is a harmful or the bad effect or the adverse effect of the chemical farming on human health. And then came the organic farming, and where we believe that there is a traditional way of growing crops, the chemical free methods is has a can provide the good food or the healthy foods. Then on the right hand side, if you can see, why do people choose organic foods? Because see, the health, taste and caring for nature. So, and the environments are the three most significant motivations for buying organic products. So, people want to have healthy foods and caring for the nature and the environments and the taste of the foods. So, from this you can see actually 55% population support that the organic food they are consuming organic food because of the health point of view, healthy eating, healthy foods, and 53% people they say also avoiding chemical residue, the organic foods as very less or no chemical residue. To avoid chemical residue, they do consume the organic foods. 35% they do have opinion of the taste of organic foods. 44% they do have opinion that care for the environments, to have a better environment, better air to live and the better water, the clean water to drink. So, go for the organic, that 44% of the populations have the opinions, and 31% populations have the opinions of the animal welfare. So, this is why the people choose organic foods. Then if you see the food quality, what do you mean by food quality? The quality is the measure of or expression of goodness, because if you compare the foods quality. As you say quality aspects, the goodness, that means we have the strong belief or the this is the good quality, that means the expressions or the goodness of the foods. That is a good for what? The the quality say the distinctive trait, characteristic, capacity of a product that sets it apart from others. So, you can differentiate from others by some measures, that is check quality. How you can differentiate one type of food from other type of food with some criteria, some characteristic or the traits as a capacity by which we can differentiate. So, one product from the other product. So, that is say of the quality. So, as you see the food quality, the quality characteristics of food that is acceptable to consumers, and this includes the external factors. How can see the who is the good quality food or the bad quality food. So, based on the external factors, that may be the size, color, appearance of the foods or the consistency of the foods. As you say, the external factors I can differentiate from the two type of foods, good quality or not quality, not up to the mark. Texture, flavor and the internal properties of the physical properties, chemical properties or the biological the microbial properties, microbial contents. On that way we can differentiate between foods or the among the foods, then you can say the quality foods. So, either the because sometimes the consumers they get tempted, they have the eye appearance, the physical appearance of the foods that looks shining, or the color is good, appearance and size also good, they do buy. So, they have the while buying they do have the probably less concern about the quality, the chemical properties, nutritional quality of the foods. Usually from the health point of view, we should concern about the nutritional quality of the foods, contents of the foods, that from the organic foods, though they do not have the good size, they may not get the good size or the shape may not be as of the chemical produced, but they have the nutritional quality, the chemical properties is much better, far better from the human health point of view. So, so if you see the quality, so as you say the 10 reasons why organic foods are healthier. So, this is one, this is higher in nutrients as we are discussing. So, usually people should prefer the buyers because with the education, so the literacy, the awareness, that is among these consumers, we should go for the higher in nutrients or the nutritional quality or the from healthy foods, from health point of view, there should be higher in nutrients, free of neurotoxins, that is a less of chemical residues, brain and the body growth boosters, no artificial colors, not exposed to gas ripening, that is no artificial ripening, natural ripening process, say tasty, that is a better taste as compared to the conventional foods, reduce your cancer risk because it contains less of pesticides, that minimizes the not only cancer risks, that many diseases, chronic disease is avoided due to the organic foods, no chemical fertilizer of course, lessens your exposure to antibiotics, synthetics, hormones and drugs because this is free from any the growth hormones or the antibiotics, and the other thing that it is tested, proven. So, proven technology is the best one. So, the organic foods are proven, are known, well known of the better quality as compared to conventional food. So, if you think of the quality, first to discuss about the nutritional quality, how the organic foods are better as compared to the conventional foods. It may happen that not exactly the in some research you have seen organic foods and conventional food, if you see the quality they may be at par, there may not be any difference. But many research reports have established that organic products are of better quality as compared to conventional products. So, this nutritional quality, it contains either primary essential nutrients such as the water, fiber, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, dry matter minerals, or the secondary metabolites or the phytonutrients. As say in plants, there are around 5,000 to 10,000 secondary compounds in plants which are considered as health promoting and protective and thus necessary for health. So, therefore, there are major 4 categories of phytonutrients: phenolics, terpenes, alkaloids and sulfur containing compounds. So, what you say here, if you think of the quality, the nutritional quality and secondary metabolites. The nutritional quality because these elements, essential elements contains in the food products. As you see, for enhancing the growth and the biomass of the crop, yield of the crops, that depends upon the contents of the essential elements in the soil or the supply of the essential elements. But if you see the secondary metabolites, though they are not essential for the growth and development of the crops, but having secondary the metabolites in the plant, the production of secondary metabolites, they have the action against many diseases in human body. They protect the human being from many diseases if the crop, if the food materials has higher content of secondary metabolites. So, they have the function of having the defense mechanisms, or they fight for many diseases in human body. So, that is why secondary metabolites is very important, and the many products having the higher secondary metabolites like the organic products are expected to have the higher content of secondary metabolites, because the organic farming goes under the nutritional stress conditions. The secondary metabolites formation takes place when the crop passes through a phase of nutrient stress mechanism. So, there is secretion of formation of phyto plant hormones or the phytochemicals in the plant body that creates that causes for the formation of secondary metabolites, and that has a health benefit, means that protect the human being from many type of the chronic diseases, like one of the heart disease, is a cardiovascular disease, or the cancer, because now cancer is becoming very common. So, to fight against cancers, the product to have the more contents of the secondary metabolites, and organic products are expected to have higher content of these secondary metabolites. And some of the evidences you can see here the conventionally produced crops had significantly higher content of nitrogen, and organically produced crop had significantly higher content of phosphorus and higher titratable acidity. That means, now if you see the nitrogen content, it is obvious, because the quick supply of nitrogenous fertilizers or the nitrogen available in the soil, the plant expected to have the higher nitrogen contents, and that means sometimes you say that the nitrate content is higher in conventional food as compared to organic foods. We need nitrate certain limits, but the excessive nitrate may have will have the adverse effect on the human health. But the organic produce has been reported to have the higher phosphorus content as compared to conventional produce. On the basis of systematic review of studies of satisfactory quality, there is no evidence of a difference in nutrient quality between organically and conventionally produced foodstuffs. The small difference in nutrient content detected are biological plausible and mostly related to difference in the production method. So same author, they have seen the Dango et al. 2009. So, they have reported that because the organic produce contain higher phosphorus content as compared to the conventional or the chemically produced foodstuffs, but in general if you say so there is no such significant difference in the nutritional compositions between the organic and the chemically produced food. And the other authors, they have said that as a 25 to 30% increase in lysine has been reported in organic wheats. Comparative studies from performed on hen eggs and the raw cow's milk did not show any noticeable difference in protein levels. So there is a different report. Some report says okay, there is a lysine, there is a higher content lysines in the organic wheats, and also if you see as a eggs or the cow milk. So there is no difference in the protein content in the organic milk or the conventional produced milk or the egg. According to Brand et al. 2011, who conducted a meta-analysis of the published comparative studies of the content of secondary metabolites in organic versus conventional crops, They say organic ones contains 12% higher level of favorable secondary metabolites than corresponding conventional fruits and vegetables. So, this report they have seen that the secondary metabolites contents are higher in organic fruits and vegetables as compared to the chemically produced fruits and vegetables. So, there are the different opinions from different researchers, but if you see in majority cases, many cases there is report has been found that organic products, though there is no difference in the essential elements as you say, either the macronutrients, micronutrients, but with respect to the secondary metabolites, the organic products has superiority, they have the higher content as compared to the conventional products. And see the organic crops overall content 21% more irons and 29% more magnesium than their conventional counterparts. Similarly, the Dango et al. Also report 2009 organic plant products tend to have more dry matter and some minerals like iron, magnesium and antioxidant micronutrients, phenols, while animal organic products have more polyunsaturated fatty acids. So, the plant products they contains more of micronutrients, as because this is also expected, because as you are applying the organic fertilizers they contains most of the micronutrients. So, the micronutrient contents of the crops is expected to be higher having the organic farming. And the animal products they have the more polyunsaturated fatty acid, that is good for the health, for human health you should go for the polyunsaturated fatty acid like olive oils or the omega fatty acids, they have the polyunsaturated fatty acid for the good for the human health point of view. And the other reports as a Kumar et al. 2018, this is the research from our own experiment, no significant difference in protein content, but higher amylose content of rice grain was noted in organic fertilizer application as compared to chemical fertilizer. So, we had this experiment for the past more than 5 years. So, this experiment was conducted for the rice chickpea cropping systems, so maybe 7th and 8th years of the experiments, where you have seen the chemical fertilizer, organic fertilizer, they do not differ much with respect to protein contents or especially the nitrogen contents in the rice grain, but if you see the amylose content in rice grain was significantly higher in organic treated plot as compared to chemical fertilizer treated plots. And this is the in general opinion from the Dango et al. 2009 nutritional quality of organic foods, a systematic review. So, here say that nitrogen contents, if you see the N content, conventional food has the higher N content as compared to the organic foods. That means as you are supplying chemical fertilizer, so nitrogen is quickly available, easily available from the chemical fertilizer, that increases contents of the food products as compared to organic farming. And vitamin C, there is no such difference, and also they have reported phenolic compounds no difference, magnesium no difference, calcium no difference. As phosphorus, the organic products contains higher content of phosphorus as compared to conventional products. The reason for this, the phosphorus availability in soils is higher in organic farming as compared to chemical farming, because the microbial activity is higher in case of organic farming, and they do help in phosphorus solubilizing in the soils and raising the pH, because the phosphorus ability depends upon the pH of the soil, and using organic fertilizer that bring the pH to neutral range, and most of the bacteria, phosphate solubilizing bacteria, they are active those pH range, and the applying organic fertilizer also that increases the population of phosphate solubilizing bacteria, and they do help in release of phosphorus in the soils, bringing the phosphorus in soluble form and making it available for the crop plants, and that means the reason for the having noting the higher phosphorus content in the crops grown in organic as compared to chemical farming. And the potassium, see there is no such difference, and zinc no difference, total soluble solids no difference, copper also no difference, and titrated acid also is higher in case of the organic products as compared to conventional products. So, Similarly, as we nutrients, if you see the pesticide residue, but no doubt unlike nutrients, pesticide residue in the products, so they are very low in organic products as compared to conventional products. This is well established, and everybody this is not unlike chemical fertilizer. This is proven and established information that all the organic product will have the lesser and lesser pesticide residue as compared to conventional products or the products grown under chemical fertilizers and the chemical pesticides. As you see here, the pesticides are used to protect crops against insect pest diseases like the fungus and other weeds. Pesticides are potentially toxic to humans and can have both acute and chronic health effects depending on the quantity and the ways in which a person is exposed to pesticide applications or the use. To protect the food consumers from adverse effect of pesticide, World Health Organizations reviews evidence and develops internationally accepted maximum residue limits in the foods. So, in the pesticide contents. So, if you see the right hand side figure here, that shows the pesticide residue in the products of different management practice, like either you can go for the conventional management like using of chemical fertilizers or the integrated pest managements, where the chemical and this the biological methods of pest management are together. In conventional only chemical pesticides are used, and the organic, the way of using organic, growing organically using both fertilizer and pesticides through organic approach, or the biopesticides are used in case of the organic management. So, if you see the pesticide residue of fruits and vegetables, so this column shows for the fruits and the next column shows the vegetables pesticide residue. So, here this shows the percentage of samples with residue. You can see the conventional products, 82% of the samples have the pesticide residue, the above maximum residue limits. See the MRL, so that is a maximum residue limits. So, 82% of the fruit samples diagnosed or analyzed having the pesticide residue above the maximum residue limits. Similarly, in that conventional products, 61% of vegetables have been detected as the pesticide above maximum residue limit. But whereas you can see the organic products, only 23% of fruits and 9% vegetables are detected with pesticide residue, and the integrated pest management they are in between. So, that indicates that in general the conventional products have the produce from the conventional chemical fertilizer or chemical pesticides have the higher content of the pesticides, or they are detected as the having the pesticide residue as very higher or significant higher as compared to the organic products. Similarly, there are some other evidence. We can see that organic produce is less likely to have detectable pesticide residue than conventionally grown produce. That is a Becquerel 2002, and they have also reported among samples with any residues, conventional foods are more likely to have multiple residues in a given sample than organic food. That means the several pesticides can be found in the produce of the chemical pesticides as compared to the organic farming. When present, residue in organic foods are likely to be at lower level than those in non-organic foods. Of course, this is the MRL, the residue limit, maximum residue limit, what you see that in organic foods have the residues may be lower than the MRL. The vast majority, around 94 to 100% of organic foods does not contain any pesticide residue. Organic vegetables contain markedly less nitrates, because nitrates also not good for health from the health point of view. So, that cause damage in the body, nitrates. So, most of the organic products they have the less nitrate contents, and they do not contain any pesticides, is a very less, below the less as compared to the conventional or the chemical products. And if you see this one, the pesticide residue on organic and conventional fruits and vegetables. So, this is the organic fresh produce and the conventional fresh produce. 65% of the organic produce they are free of pesticide residue, and whereas the only 8% of the conventional produce are free of residue. So, there is a huge difference, because that means the around 74% of the conventional produce are detected or analyzed having the pesticide residue. So, so in case of the trace residue 30%, here are 18%, and mostly 74% of the conventional produce have the pesticide residue, and in case of organic only 5% or less than 5% of the organic produce have the pesticide residue. So, then the nutrient bioavailability, you see this is very important for the what do you mean by nutrient bioavailability. That means, as you consume the food, the food material should be utilized by the crop. How the food materials is utilized by the crop, that means the after digestion how the nutrients is usable or the used by the human body. So, that is a nutrient bioavailability, that is a food digestibility and nutrient bioavailability are at the heart of the nutrition. Digestibility is a measure of how much nutrition a food provides in a given volume, and second indicates how much of the food is absorbed by the gut into the bloodstream. That means, the amount of nutrient present in the food, the portion of nutrients is absorbed by the in the bloodstream, that is a nutrient bioavailability. So, though you do not have the many the huge information about the nutrient bioavailability for these, especially for the organic foods and the conventional foods, there are few reports suggest that for leafy vegetables as well as the root vegetables and tubers, a trend for higher dry matter content in organic foodstuff has been found, while no significant difference has been identified for fruits and the fruit vegetables and the fruit. So, higher dry matter content, that indicates the bioavailability, there is a fiber content, that the better digestibility and the better bioavailability, but there are some understanding that the organic produce are free from pesticide residue. So, there will be better the bioavailability of nutrients in the human body. And the storage quality, if you see how can shelf life of the storage, as this is grown without any growth hormones or without any chemical fertilizers or no chemical pesticides. In this case, the vegetables like potato and fruits from organic production show better storage quality or the keeping quality during winters. This possible reason is connected with the higher content of dry matter organic foods and minerals and total sugars in organic food, that increases the shelf life of the organic foods. And the sensory evaluations, so that you see, that say usually the test, I will say test of the organic foods, the organic plant products have usually the better sensory quality, they have the more distinct taste and they are sweeter and more compact because of the higher dry matter content. So, these are some tests are conducted, sensory evaluations. There are reports that the organic products have the taste, have better taste as compared to the chemical products. So, there are some comparison of weight gain and reproductive performance in rodents and rabbits fed organic and conventionally grown food. You can see the rodents for this. So, there are many studies conducted, and this they have reported. So, in one case there is greater weight gain, some cases there is superior weight gain also there, shorter lifespan. In one case the Sunat et al. 1934, they have reported there is a shorter lifespan and worse health in organic foods by consuming organic foods as compared to conventional food, and no difference in weight gain. In other, they have reported better reproductions with organic feeds, worst performance with mixed organic and conventional feed. Similarly, no difference here, no difference. In this case, rabbits, they have reported greater number of eggs, higher fertilization rate, beneficial histological changes in female genital organ due to the organic foods, no difference in reproductive performance, lower mortality of newborn in organic foods, long term fertility rate in case of the organic foods, and more young born remain alive in organic foods. So, these are the reports, mixed reports, but most of the cases they do have evidence organic foods have better health effects and they have the better advantage in the animal body So, as compared to the conventionally grown foods. And something that to be concerned about that, the cadmium toxicity, mostly that we use the chemical pesticides, they contains the cadmium. So, that is a very huge concern for the human health. Researchers found that much higher levels of cadmium, a toxic metals, in conventional crops. Pesticides residue are found on conventional crops 4 times more often than the organic food. So, the cadmium contents are higher in conventionally produced food as compared to the organic foods. According to Environmental Protection Agency of USA, it is estimated that 90% of fungicide, 60% of herbicide and 30% of pesticide used in conventional food crops are carcinogenic. They have the cadmium, that means high cadmium content, and due to high cadmium content, if you are consuming the foods having higher cadmium content, what will happen in the health effects? It has a a recent study has linked it to breast cancer, cardiovascular disease, then obstructive pulmonary disease, the kidney lose functions, which can also cause gut and a form of arthritis, the bones lose density and the bone fracture due to high cadmium content. So, taking the foods of having higher cadmium contents, that means the foods having high pesticide residue, they have the many heavy the foods having heavy metals contents. So, they have the effect, they cause many diseases like cancer, cardiovascular disease. So, that has a bad effect on human health. So, these are the some of the references, as we have discussed, the references are cited there, and these references are mentioned. You can follow these references as you have explained earlier, and you can get detailed information by going through the literature. So, this lectures by you can gain you have got the knowledge about the quality of the organic foods and how the organic food is superior over the conventional foods. That means, we are the main purpose is going to have organic foods to have the better quality, to have a better health. So, we have to feed the population, young population, old every age of populations, they need the good quality foods to maintain their health and to have a better health. As you see, the cancer patient population is growing over the time. Every day you can find the many cancer patient populations are adding to in the nation and the world as well. And to minimize the deadly disease of cancers, we need to control our food, because food regulates the disease to greater extents. How we can have a better food, so that we can have a better health. With this, I conclude this lecture. Thank you very much.